Welcome to the Invisible Hand, where economics is not just studied but understood. Today's first topic, or say first chapter, is from class 11th Economics and Economy. So, we will be starting from the meaning, or say definition, of economics. What does economics mean? What is economics? So, economics is a subject. It is basically a subject, or you could say it is a social science. वो एक सब्जेक्ट है या वो सोशल साइंस है that studies human behavior. It is a subject or a social science that studies human behavior where they allocate resources. Studies human behavior where they allocate रिसोर्सेस को एलोकेट करते हैं वो टू सेटिस्फाई देयर वांट. तो इकोनॉमिक्स इज अ सोशल साइंस. वो एक सोशल साइंस है, और यू वुड कॉल इट अ सब्जेक्ट दैट satisfy. It is a social science that studies human behavior where they allocate resources to satisfy their wants. As human wants are unlimited and resources are limited, and they have alternative uses, because the human wants, this is an important part, कि human की जो wants हैं वो unlimited है, but हमारे जो resources हैं, हमारे resources limited हैं और उनके alternative uses हैं. ठीक है. तो इकोनॉमिक्स एक ऐसी सोशल साइंस है जो ह्यूमन बिहेवियर को स्टडी करती है, जिसमें हम रिसोर्सेस को एलोकेट करते हैं ताकि हम हमारी नीड्स को सेटिस्फाई कर सकें. जो ह्यूमन वांट्स हैं वो अनलिमिटेड हैं, बहुत सारी, यू कैन नॉट काउंट देम. रिसोर्सेस आर वेरी लिमिटेड. दे कुड end at some time if they are used regularly, and they have alternative uses. For example, if we take milk, there is 1 liter of milk. You could drink it as it is. Secondly, you could make cheese out of it, you could make paneer out of it, you could make a sweet out of it. So there are 3 or 4 alternatives, but you still have 1 liter of milk, and you have to use it in any one of the form. You cannot use it in all, or you could use it in more than one, say 2. You drink some and you use the leftover to make curd. आधा बचा, आधा पी लिया, आधा बचे हुए से तो कर्ड बना ली या आपने पनीर बना लिया. बट इट विल हैव अ वेरी लिमिटेड यूज़. आप उसको हमेशा के लिए नहीं चला सकते हैं. इट विल एंड, दैट 1 लीटर विल एंड, बट योर वॉन्ट्स आर अनलिमिटेड. आपके पास बहुत, आपको पनीर भी खाना है, आपको दूध भी पीना है, आपको चीज़ भी बनाना है, आपको कोई मिठाई भी बनानी है. तो आपकी वॉन्ट्स जो है, आपके डिज़ायर जो है, वो बहुत सारे हैं, पर लेकिन रिसोर्स आपके पास बहुत थोड़े हैं. तो इकोनॉमिक्स इसी बिहेवियर को स्टडी करता है कि हम अपने रिसोर्सेज को कौन से ऑप्शंस में यूज़ कर रहे हैं, कैसे कैसे एलोकेट कर रहे हैं, ताकि हम अपनी वांट्स को मैक्सिमम लेवल तक सेटिस्फाई कर सकें. तो दैट इज़ व्हाट इकोनॉमिक्स इज़ ऑल अबाउट. तो इकोनॉमिक्स इज़ मेड फ्रॉम is basically a Greek word, oikonomia. It is called oikonomia. Oikonomia, it is a Greek word. Economics comes from this Greek word oikonomia, in which okios means household, whereas nomia, or you could call it namin, not nomia or namin, whatever, namia or namin, is called management. So what is it? It is actually the management of household. मैनेजमेंट ऑफ हाउसहोल्ड में कौन आता है? कंज्यूमर्स होते हैं. सो दीज आर कंज्यूमर्स. So this is what basically economy is. Satisfied that? Next comes so when I said कि resources are limited, so I told you two characteristics of resources. That is, one, they are limited. What does limited means? That they are scarce. There is a scarcity. Scarcity क्या होता है? It is a situation when what you have is less than what you wish to have. जितना आप चाहते हैं उससे कम है वो चीज़ें, तो इसलिए वो स्केर्स है, उस चीज़ की स्केर्सिटी है. सेकेंडली उनका ऑल्टरनेट यूजेस है कि बहुत सारे ऑप्शन हैं, आप उसको कैसे अपने रिसोर्स को यूज़ कर सकते हैं. सी, सो नाउ दिस इज़ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट. व्हेन आई सेड दैट रिसोर्सेज आर स्केर्स, देयर इज अ स्केर्स सिचुएशन, स्केर्सिटी है किसी चीज़ की. सो दिस विल लीड टू चॉइसेस. द एग्जाम्पल आई गिव यू ऑफ मिल्क, जिसमें आपके पास बहुत सारी चॉइसेस थी, तो आपको उनमें चूज़ करना पड़ेगा. तो स्केर्सिटी लीड्स टू चॉइसेस. चॉइसेस इज एन आउटकम. दिस इज बेसिकली एन आउटकम of scarcity. You have to forego 10 things in favor of one. So you chose one and you have to let go others. So this choice is an outcome of scarcity. Choices इसीलिए है क्योंकि चीज़ें आपके पास ऑप्शंस स्कैर्स है. आपके पास क्या कहते हैं, रिसोर्सेज स्कैर्स हैं. चीज़ें स्कैर्स नहीं है, सॉरी, रिसोर्सेज स्कैर्स है. ऑल्टरनेटिव्स बहुत ज़्यादा है, इसीलिए आपको चॉइस मिलेगी कि आप इसमें नहीं तो इसमें करेंगे, और अगर आप इसमें कर रहे हो तो आपको बाकी की 10 चीज़ें छोड़नी पड़ेंगी. तो हाउ, वाई डू choices arise? Because there are limited resources and they have alternative uses. This is the reason why you have choices. So that is why it is called the problem of choice. And why do these arises? This is the reasons: limited resources, alternative uses. So next come the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. We'll have a difference. Here we'll talk about the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. We'll divide. So economics, we'll do the difference. Micro and macroeconomics. Okay, so micro and macro. You know what economics is? Now there's a division, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Micro means at the level of small individual, not small. Micro itself means small. It comes from the Greek word micros, which means small. And this macro comes from the Greek word macros, M-A-K, sorry. It will be M-A-K, M-A-K-R-O-S, macros. That means large. So small economics, large economics, microeconomics, macroeconomics. So microeconomics is an economics that studies economic problem. It will study economic problem. I'll write it one side, not the other side. It will study economic problems at the level of individual level, but it will study economic problem at the level of economy as a whole. First. Second, it is also called theory of price. This is called theory of income and employment. Why is it called the theory of price? Because it is basically concerned with the determination of output and price for an individual industry or a firm. That is why it is called theory of price, because it is basically concerned with determination of output and price for the individual firms. This is called the theory of income and employment because it is basically concerned with determination of aggregate output and general price level. So this helps in finding the aggregate total output and general price that is prevailing in the economy. That is why these are called so. Here the macro variables will be constant. Here the micro variables will be constant. Aggregate output, aggregate supply, all these will be constant. Income and every other individual levels जो हमारे क्या कहते हैं वेरिएबल्स होंगे वो कांस्टेंट होंगे. Here the market forces play a significant role, like supply and demand, like the problem of product pricing or factor pricing. So here the market forces are dominant at an individual level, whereas here the government policies will play a significant role at the macro level. So this is one difference. So we also have other difference economics, that is positive economics and normative economics. Another, we'll do it here only. Economics again. There are two types: positive and normative. So positive economics and normative economics. Positive economics deals with economic issues related to past, present, and future. These are basically facts that you could check whether they are positive or or negative. They are true or they are false. These are basically facts. These are opinion. Normatives. Normatives are basically opinions. These are facts. So they talk about the economic issues of, they will talk about the economic problems or economic issues of past, present, and future. They are just opinions. It talk about what was, what is, and what would. क्या था, क्या है, और क्या होगा. It talks about that. Whereas this talks about what ought to be. That means क्या होना चाहिए था. So these are opinions. These are facts. So if they are facts, you could check whether they are true or false. You can check them. Fact checks हो सकते हैं. But these cannot be termed as true or false क्योंकि वो opinion है. आप किसी के ओपिनियन को ठीक या गलत नहीं कह सकते क्योंकि opinions are subjective. They are true in some situations and false in other. But facts, they are true in every situation. For example, a very basic statement: the sun rises in the east. It is a fact. You could check whether it is true or false. So these are verifiable. And these are not verifiable. You cannot check them. This is the first, this is the second, sorry, this is not the first. First के ये क्या क्या है. Second ये प्रेजेंट पास्ट के बारे में बात करते हैं. What was, what is, what would. अब इनको बता सकते हैं कि ये नहीं false और ये वेरीफाइबल का फोर्थ पॉइंट है. ठीक है. These does not involve value judgment. Whereas these does. ये वैल्यू जजमेंट इन्वॉल्व करते हैं क्योंकि ओपिनियन, आपके मॉरल्स के बारे में बात हो रही है. आपकी क्या सोच है, आप किस बारे में क्या सोचते हैं और क्या समझते हैं. तो हियर यू इन्वॉल्व वैल्यू जजमेंट इन नॉर्मेटिव इकोनॉमिक्स. बट इन पॉजिटिव इकोनॉमिक्स दीज आर ऑल फैक्ट्स, ऑल डेटा. These are facts and figure. Example, if I say 22% of the population is below poverty line, so that is a fact. True or false है वो आप चेक कर सकते हैं, पर वो एक fact है. And if I talk about a normative example, it could be, say, the government should not use taxpayers' money for, you say, paying subsidies. Okay, so the government should not use taxpayers' money for giving subsidies. So this is your personal opinion, or you say my personal opinion, which does not count as a fact. It has no verifiability. It is just my opinion, which people could agree or could not agree. So that is the difference between positive and the normative economy. If I say now the last topic from this chapter, and the chapter ends. It is a very short chapter that deals with the basics of economics and economy. So the basic part, you know what economics is now. According to me, you know. So what is economy then? What is economy. Economy. What is economy? So it is an area by which people of an sorry, it is a system, not an area. It is a system. Economy is a system by which people of an area earn their living. So it is a system by which people of an area earn their living. Just give me a second. Okay, so it is a system by which people of an area earn their living. Like teachers go to school, doctors go to hospitals, farmers go to their fields, industrial go to their industries. So the nature and level of economic activities performed by these people of an area would reveal a system. So that system by which they are earning their living or they are earning their income is economy. It can be a simple economy or a complex economy. Simple economy is the one which the degree of interdependence and exchange is very moderate, so that you don't interdepend on each other on a larger scale. Whereas in a complex economy, the interdependence is very high. Here the income levels are low, here the income levels are very high. Wants are not that enormous in the simple economy. Complex, see, in a complex economy everything will be on a very high scale. You say income, wants, desire, the mutual interdependence and the degree of exchange will be very high in the complex economies, whereas in the simpler economies those will be on a very minimal level. So this is not that important. What is important is the types of economy. There are various types of economies our world function in. So the three broad categories are centrally planned economy, free economy, and the mixed economy. So the countries across the world, they function in these three categories basically. So we have three basically. The first one is the controlled. You could also call it centrally planned. Next is a free economy. You could say it a market economy. This is a free economy. And third is the mixed. Mixed means all दोनों. इसमें controlled भी है, free भी है, mix है. So it is centrally planned. Whereas this is called the market economy. And it has both. ये भी है और ये भी है इसमें. ठीक है. Here the decisions basically जितनी भी activities होती हैं कंट्रोल्ड की बात कर रहे हैं हम सबसे पहले कंट्रोल्ड इकोनॉमी की बात कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पर सबसे पहले जो डिसीजंस होते हैं इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज़ की, प्रोडक्शन क्या होगा, विच गुड्स विल बी प्रोड्यूस, टेक्निक्स क्या यूज़ करेंगे, ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक डिसीजंस दैट टेकन बाय द गवर्नमेंट because it is controlled. The government is controlling it. Whereas in a free market, all those decisions are taken by the market forces. Now, in the mixed economy, they both will take the decisions. कुछ एरियाज़ में गवर्नमेंट लेगी, कुछ एरियाज़ में मार्केट फोर्सेस लेगी. नेक्स्ट, यहाँ पे मोटिव क्या है? यहाँ पे है सोशल वेलफेयर. गवर्नमेंट का मोटिव हमेशा सोशल वेलफेयर रहेगा और जो मार्केट का मोटिव होगा वो हमेशा प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन रहेगा। नेक्स्ट कम्स दी मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी। मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी में क्या होगा, बोथ, दोनों, सोशल वेलफेयर भी करना चाहेंगे और प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन भी करना चाहेंगे। एग्जाम्स में बोथ बोथ नहीं लिखना है, ये दोनों ही लिखना है। इट इज़ कंट्रोल्ड बाय गवर्नमेंट एज वेल एज मार्केट फोर्सेस। इट्स मोटिव आर सोशल वेलफेयर एज वेल एज प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन, ऐसे लिखना है। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट पॉइंट आता है कि रिसोर्सेज। रिसोर्सेज किसके पास होंगे यहाँ पे, ऑब्वियस है, सब कुछ गवर्नमेंट कर रही है तो गवर्नमेंट के पास होंगे। यहाँ पर रिसोर्सेज किसके पास होंगे, पीपल, जो प्राइवेटली ओन करते हैं, तो लोगों के पास है। यहाँ पर वो दोनों के पास है, कुछ रिसोर्सेज गवर्नमेंट के पास है, कुछ लोगों के पास है। तो अगर रिसोर्सेज इनके पास है तो प्राइस कौन डिटरमाइन कर रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट। अगर रिसोर्सेज इनके पास है तो प्राइस कौन डिटरमाइन कर रहा है, यही लोग कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद इट इज़ डोमिनेटेड बाय पब्लिक सेक्टर, जो गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर, इट इज़ डोमिनेटेड बाय प्राइवेट सेक्टर। यहाँ पर फिर से बोथ कर देंगे। Here the consumer is not sovereign, वो अपने इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजंस नहीं ले रहा है। द सेंट्रल अथॉरिटी डिसाइड्स व्हाट गुड्स आर टू बी प्रोड्यूस्ड। इधर इस टाइप में सोवरन है, व्हाट गुड्स, व्हाट क्वांटिटी, हाउ टू बी प्रोड्यूस टेकन solely decided by the private players or the people। यहाँ पर है, सोवरन है, क्योंकि बिकॉज the consumer has a say in what to be produced, how to be produced, and how much to be produced. So this is the end of the chapter, and thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please like, subscribe and share and among your friends. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.